right, it's 6 o'clock. Let's open the meeting. West Brookfield Board of Selectmen for November 10th, 2025. First item on our agenda is the minutes of October 14th and 28th. You suggest some corrections to the 14th?
If I do, want me to make a motion, then we can talk?
Sure.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of October 14th, 25 with a couple corrections.
I'll second the motion. What are the corrections?
So, Beth, I've got on page 3, second paragraph, it's just sort of my name's hanging, so I don't know if there was a thought after that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And on page 4, I believe under the Lake Wickabog special use permits, the type of species growing in the lake needs to be corrected.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be fanwort, not hogwort.
Fair one. Yeah.
Hogwort is dairy product.
Yeah.
And those are the only things that I found.
So we've already made the motion to approve them as amended, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right. It's not quite 6:05, so we can't do the tax
Want to do the
classification.
28th meetings, minutes?
Okay. We'll go ahead, take the motion.
Make a motion to approve the October 28th Board of Selectmen meeting minutes.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. It's approved.
Wait for minutes. Can't do anything about it.
Pickleball upstairs?
Yes, well, here. Do you want to do the treasury one?
Monday night. Wednesday night.
Yeah, let's do the treasury. Well,
It's up to you.
I should say, yeah, let's skip down to the treasury warrants, item 9 on our agenda.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal 26 accounts payable warrants number 10 and fiscal 26 payroll warrant number 10 as presented.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Reasons that you will not be addressing item 6. So we're kind of jumping around our agenda. It's not quite 6:05. There's an item on our agenda to set the date for the special town meeting. We're going to be skipping over that. We won't be doing that this evening. It's on here twice, item 6 and item 8.
The next two meetings, number 13 and 14? Or those possible changes?
Let's wait till the end for that.
Okay.
So, got 6:05, So let's do the Town of West Brookfield tax classification hearing.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is David Burgess and I work with a company called Regional Resource Group. And we provide the assessment services for you at the moment, because you don't have a full-time assessor. And I don't know if you're all familiar with the classification hearing, but what we're looking to find out is if you want us to do a split rate or not on the taxes. In other words, move the, lower the residential property slightly while increasing the commercial property. You've never had it, there's always been a single tax rate. I have a packet here, which is more than you usually see. In short, for a 10% change in the tax rate for the single family property, the single family would save $49, when at the same time the commercial property would pay $38 more. And at the highest end, the single family would save $256. And the commercial would pay $1,800 more. So it's really is a tax on the commercial. If you, we haven't established a tax rate yet, but it'll be somewhere around 10 to 66. We have to wait for the Department of Revenue to sign off on all the paperwork on the recap sheet. Tonight we'll be asking you to sign off on the LA5 if you approve this on Gateway or give some permission to do it. And at that point we can start moving forward to get ready to set the tax rate.
Like you said, we've always been a single
Yes.
classification. So,
You have your motion.
There's a sample book on the last page.
The last page. Voting a tax shift factor, the proposed motion keeps it the same. Single.
Yep.
well, we probably should discuss it. Do you have any opinion?
I don't think that it's, I don't think you have enough commercial to really warrant a split. But David could probably speak more to that.
I mean, in your town, it's 90% basically residential and 10% commercial.
Okay.
So you'd be impacting really a very small amount, a very small group to help a large group very little. And always remember that in the chapter lands, in other words farmers, fall in the commercial group as well. So even though their value is reduced, they would see the higher tax that would pass along.
Okay.
So, personally, I was an assessor in Amherst for nearly 30 years. Unless the split was closer to 60-40, I would never recommend the split rate.
Okay.
And you said the farmers are included in the commercial rate?
Yes.
And is that including if they get any exemptions or
The farmers would-
adjustments? No, they,
Yes, that would be in the chapter plan, yes.
okay.
Personally, I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt the farming community in this town. They have it hard enough as it is.
No.
So I would prefer to see us leave it as a single tax rate.
I think it's a matter of when we have 10% that are in the commercial, industrial, and personal property category, there isn't a lot. I mean, the residential makes up almost 90% of our tax base.
It does.
And it'd be a small change, and that's what we've done. I think it's worth looking at every single year, making that determination. But I don't see there's a significant change that would help. So I would be in favor of leaving it one rate.
I'll accept a motion as such.
I'll make a motion. Read the
You just read that.
post, yep. The West Brookfield Select Board votes in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 50.
No, we don't want to do that. That's voting for the tax shift, right?
No,
No?
No.
No.
That's leaving it the way it is? Okay,
Yes.
all right, my bad.
All right.
I apologize.
That's
Go
okay.
again.
The West Brookfield Select Board votes in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 56, as amended, the percentage of local tax levy which will be borne by each class of real estate and personal property relative to setting the fiscal year 2026 tax rates, and set the residential rate factor at 1.0 with a corresponding CIP shift of 1.0 pending approval of the town's annual tax recap by the Massachusetts Department of Revenue.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Would you entertain a motion to provide me authorization to sign on your behalf into Gateway?
The document for that. I'll make a motion to authorize the signature for that
By the town administrator.
to the town administrator, yes.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
No?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Either way.
There's some keys down
Got it.
So the next item on our agenda is a dog hearing. We are here pursuant to Mass General Law, Section 157, to investigate a complaint being brought against Diva, owned by My Grover. Is that correct? Did I pronounce it right? By Candy Spencer for the following. What am I supposed to say there?
For the following, so you would use the ACO's report or the notice that was sent out.
Okay.
So you have a copy of the notice in your binder?
Okay. I would ask everyone who will testify to stand, please, and take it off. Good.
I guess
This is for the dog hearing.
So if
Yeah.
anybody's gonna speak,
If you have,
if I have to speak.
you have to
One way or the other.
stand and
Yep.
take the oath, please. Okay, raise your right hands, please, and repeat after me. Do you actually, no, it's not a repeat after me. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give us is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. So the first step in the hearing is the complainant's testimony. Who's the complainant? Candy?
Candy, right here. You wanna hear how it happened?
Please.
One afternoon, I let my dog out. I have an electric fence in the yard, so I let her out on her own. Turned around, and all of a sudden heard her yelping, went out to the back, and there was a dog on top of my dog, shaking her. And so I grabbed a cover to a plastic tote, which is all that I had, and was trying to hit the dog to get her off of my dog, and then he turned to me, he or she, I don't know what it is. And then the dog went back to my dog and started biting her neck and ears. And then I kept hitting it, screaming it, and it finally ran into the neighbor's yard. I ran into the house to get my cell phone. I couldn't find my dog at this point, and then the dog came back again. And so I grabbed my cell phone, I called 911, I was on the phone with 911 while the dog was coming back, and I was screaming because I could not find my dog, and I was afraid he was gonna get her again. And then I ran to my neighbor's yard, he followed me to my neighbor's yard. They weren't home, I ran to another neighbor's yard, and he continued to follow me to that yard, and my neighbor came out with a leash and tried to chase the dog to get it away from me. And then at this point, there were some people who stopped with their cars trying to help, and the dog was back into my yard again. I assumed still looking for my dog, so I didn't want to go inside. I wanted to make sure she was all right. And then finally, the police came, and then the dog officer. And they were still chasing the dog at this point. It ran into, I live on O'Day Lane, it ran into Ware Street, and there were still people trying to catch it. And then the owner showed up. I never met the owner. She never approached me or came to me or anything, but the police officer went down once he saw the owner. She was putting him into the car and asked for her name and phone number. And then they came back to me and gave me the information, but she never came to me to see how the dog was, or I was, or I never met her. And that was then.
Supporting witness officer, were you,
I didn't see it.
you didn't see it?
I got there afterwards, so I'm only going on what she had said.
Okay.
Cassidy was there before me. I don't know how much
Yes.
she saw.
Yeah, she came while everyone was chasing the dog around at that
Okay.
point.
Yeah, the dog was already caught. I mean, not quite as fast as the police, because I'm usually
Oh, sure.
or something, you know, so I didn't see the dog, but Cassidy was there and told me what had happened.
Are there any other witnesses, supporting witnesses? I have a statement from Carol Santos that
That was for the other
That was for
attack.
the next
That
one,
was
yeah. The next
later
week's.
that week.
the next attack.
That's the third attack. We reported.
Well, this, what is, so is this hearing pertaining to all three attacks or just the one
All
attack?
three we're talking about, yeah. So I put them
Okay.
in order. She'll have 1, 2, and 3 new books.
So who's was involved in the second attack?
That was Miss Spencer's dog. Was involved with that.
So originally there was a dog last spring on Central Street, the houses. I did try to get a phone number for them through dispatch. I couldn't find one. I drove by 3 times. They weren't home, so I wasn't able to contact them for this meeting. I think that happened, that was last February.
It was in front of my house.
Okay.
That was February 13th.
And is the owner of that dog here? Was it the same?
I think he moved out of town. He
Yeah,
used to rent up near the country bank.
The house looked abandoned, kind of. It had that was the feeling I thought maybe he wasn't there anymore.
He was a tenant there.
Right, yeah, it looked like nobody lived at that house.
No, but it happened in front of my house.
Did you see the attack?
I heard it.
You heard
I
it.
couldn't find them because they were on the ground, but my neighbor came out and they took the dog that was being attacked and put it in their house. The report is wrong. It says it went in my house. It went in their house.
By the time I got there, I think they were in front of their own house, so I don't know when the attack actually took place.
It was at 25 Central.
This was the Marine house, I think when I got there.
No, my house is the White House. That's my property on the side.
Right, so I'm talking about the Marine house, that's where I went to try to find.
The dog that was attacked was in the Marine house.
Right,
So this is the attack in February.
Correct.
Yours is the attack in October?
Yes.
This is the February attack.
Thank you. I think I have this. Yeah, I have a copy of this, thank you.
It says the dog was taken into 25 Central. That's my house. It was taken into my neighbor's house.
Okay.
That's the only thing incorrect on it.
So this is 2 different dogs.
Yes.
Same attacking dog.
Dog, but,
I
Two
don't
different
know.
Right.
dogs
I think so.
that were
It
attacked.
and then the one after mine was the same dog, attacking dog.
Right, the same dog had attacked 3 different dogs.
Correct.
Okay.
So the first one, the guy moved out of town, but the dog stayed?
no,
No.
I just couldn't reach.
Their dog is the victim.
He wasn't there.
Probably went with them when they left town.
Yeah.
I hope.
So is the owner of the dog that was attacked on 1023 here?
That's us, the
Okay.
third dog, right?
You're the third dog.
Yeah, we're dog number
You
3.
speak because you were walking her when
Oh, okay.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, On the evening of the 23rd, I was walking our Cavachon. I was about 3 houses away from our home, and my dog was about to meet another person's dog. We were both on leashes, and then this third dog came out from between the houses and went right after our Cavachon, latched on. The other lady got her dog to safety. I separated them. I attempted to pick up CC the Cavachon and, rush home. The dog snatched her away from me.
The attacking dog snatched her away from you?
Like right out of, as I picked her up and was like trying to like get to the house, and she got her back, and then I separated them again, and I was like holding her up like over my head, and the dog jumped up in the air and snatched it like it was performing a trick. And finally, the third time I separated them, I just held the collar and wrapped my arm around the chest of the attacking dog and kind of held it up on its hind legs while my dog got away, and then called for help. Neighbors came out to assist. I believe the other lady that was walking her dog notified the police, as well as one of the neighbors that came out, I believe, also called. The officer responded. I explained what happened and turned over to the dog to the custody of the officer. By then, the neighbor, who I believe also called the police, had offered me one of her leashes, which I snapped onto the dog's collar. So I had it on a leash by the time
The attacking dog.
I had the attacking dog by a leash. Once my dog got away, he was relatively docile, but it was a hell of an attack.
Yeah, he went after, this is my dog, went after his neck. I had to take him to emergency hospital in West Springfield, we both did. And he had puncture marks on the neck, on the back, on the leg, all the way down to the muscle on the leg. I mean, she had sutures in all those areas. She had 3 drains in. It was really horrible. It was a nightmare.
We spent the night in the ER as well. We had to go the next day. Mine wasn't as bad. Mine's a bigger dog, an English Springer Spaniel. It's just about 45 pounds, but she had all wounds. He did the same thing, neck and ears, and had blood coming out of her ear. So we did bring her to the ER.
Anybody else here to speak on about the third attack? Right.
That would
Now-
be the letter of Ms.
Now would be the
Santos.
appropriate time to read the letter into the record. This letter is dated November 9th, 2025. Dear West Brookfield Select Board members, I am unable to attend the dangerousness hearing concerning the vicious dog attack on October 23rd, 2025, but I wanted to make a statement concerning this incident. I was walking a dog down West Street on October 23rd in the evening when I witnessed a dog suddenly attack a small dog being walked on a leash. The man walking the dog on the leash started yelling for help as the pit bull continued to snarl, growl, and attack the little dog. Even when the man tried picking his dog up, the pit bull continued jumping and biting at the dog. The man was yelling that the pit bull was going to kill his dog. I also yelled for help, told the man I was calling 911, and quickly moved the dog I was walking out of harm's way. The police responded quickly. It was a terrifying ordeal, and not to be able to help the man more felt awful, but I knew I had to get the dog I had out of there. If the pit bull came after us, I would not be able to save my dog. That evening I posted on Facebook warning other residents about this vicious dog and to be careful when walking in our neighborhood. Because of my post, I have had others reach out telling me they witnessed the same dog attack other dogs and even bite a person. Others have posted it is not the dog's fault, but the fault of the irresponsible owner for not restraining it. I agree that the owner is totally at fault here and should be held liable for any damage that this dog has done. But there's obviously something wrong with this dog. He came out of nowhere and started attacking. He was not protecting his property, nor was it the other little dog threatening the pit bull in any way. The pit bull came from behind and attacked. For the duration of the time I was dog sitting, I felt I could not walk in my own neighborhood because of this dog. This is totally unacceptable. Why should the responsible residents of our town live in fear because of an irresponsible pet owner refuses again and again to take the necessary steps to ensure that their dog does not cause more harm to anyone or any other pet? For the safety of our residents and pets, please take the necessary steps to permanently eliminate this dog from our town. No one wants to hear of a dog being euthanized, but this dog is a serious danger to our residents and pets. Please act quickly before another pet or person is injured or worse. Sincerely, Carol Santos, 33 West Street, West Brookfield, Mass.
No, I'd like to say something.
Can I just give you 1 second, please? I lost my spot in my sheets. There we are. All right. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the dog father, so 23 West Street.
You're the dog
I'm
father?
the dog's father.
The pit bull that's doing
The
the
small
attacking?
No, no,
The
the one that was
cabbage.
The little
attacked.
one, the
Okay.
cat shop. So, we didn't know who the dog belonged to, where it came from, and really by a matter of, from like hearsay, we narrowed it down to the dog came from Mechanic Street. And my stepson thought he knew who the dog belonged to. I actually found the owner on Facebook, and it was going on a week later. I still haven't heard anything. I would have thought that I would have heard something, but I found her on Facebook, and I texted her, and she did get right back to me. And Cece, my dog, so far is $2,178 vet. And we don't know if that's done because she just got the stitches out. She's still kind of limping. She doesn't have all her strength back. So we don't know if that's the end of it, but that's what it was so far. She did say that she was going to pay it, and I thought at first she was going to talk about installments, whatever, but she came over on Saturday with the full amount and gave us a check.
She did pay for the
She
damages
paid for
then?
the whole thing.
Okay.
She told us that she fixed her fence, which it doesn't really, doesn't really solve the problem with this dog, this vicious dog, but I'm just wondering, I don't know what the laws are, so.
The laws are what we're going through right now with this hearing.
I've never heard from her, so I submitted my bills to you, but
Okay.
I contemplated going to her house. I know where she lives, but I thought I would
I'm gonna say in my
start
defense,
here.
Go, give me 1 second. We're almost to your side. Do you have any questions, Cam?
I don't at this point.
Okay. I don't have any other questions for you folks regarding your dogs and the attacks. No.
I never
Are
heard
you,
about your dog. I heard of the dog.
are you Mike?
your dog.
Is your name Mike Rover?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I apologize profusely for not responding to you because I would have gotten in touch with you right away. Like I did that. I personally asked the police officer, the ACO when they called me, is everything okay? Can you make sure they contact me if they need me? I heard a dog had a nip on its ear and that's it. It had no idea there was an attack like that. I swear on my children, my life, like, I would have contacted you. I'm that type of person.
I wanted to
Never.
work with you. I did, but
I had no idea.
I didn't know the.
No, I didn't. And then I asked the ACO twice, and finally, they reached out to me on social media to contact me. Like,
So-
and I immediately got back to them and called them and did all the right steps to make sure, I'm trying to do everything right. I was told it was a nip on the ear and the dog was fine.
No, but,
No,
so Mike, let's let crosstalk. With respect, it's 3 attacks. You're from your dog. You're not denying that it was your dog, right?
No, I'm not denying it's not my dog. But I wanted to apologize to her for not, contacting her or having that communication. That there is a communication between the town.
3 attacks plus.
Had the dog ever bit a person?
It nipped her when she walked by and put her
It
hand out.
nipped you? Okay.
Well-
And I'm sorry, can you state your name, please? Or,
Eileen Sykes.
okay,
We're neighbors,
okay.
next door neighbors to mine. And I was just walking down my driveway and her daughter was walking the dog on a leash, and, you know, I said hello to them and everything, and I put my hand out just like that to see if the dog would just sniff me and say hello, and he grabbed my hand.
Did you break the skin?
Yes. I got an infection. I had to be on the antibiotic. My hand swelled up, and but of course I blame myself for putting my hand out, but you know, still a dog shouldn't just bite you.
So is the dog, I mean, what do you, what's the explanation for the dog being able to, what it looks like it's roaming freely?
The dog doesn't, we don't let our dogs just roam freely. As soon as I moved into the neighborhood, I put a fence. I had somebody come install a fence in the backyard. They did tear the bottom of the fence, and I did have to repair it.
The dog toward the bottom of the fence, trying to get out?
Yeah. So I did repair it, but dogs dig under fences and they do things like that, and I try really hard to make sure my dogs stay in the yard. You know, I just got him a shock collar to make sure anytime he's near the fence line that, you know, he's afraid of his own shadow. So putting your hand right in front of him, he barks at the branches and the leaves because he's scared of them. He's not like, you can walk in my house and lay on the couch and he won't even get up. So, like, I'm taking precautions on if I hear he gets out and if there is a hole that dug under the fence or anything like that. I've even considered getting stone and digging down a foot down and put the stone under there and burying the fence that way.
What type of fence is it?
Most, 3 different fences. So on their side they have a deteriorating, like, stockade fence, so I had to put chicken wire only on the inside of the fence there. And then,
It's not our fence.
well, I've offered to replace it if it falls over. There was, you know, like, and that's fine. It's like, I'm not gonna argue about it. There's a black chain link, brand new fence in the backyard, and then on the other side is a vinyl white fence.
What's the height of the chain link fence?
5 feet, they don't jump over the fence.
You wanted to make a comment?
After this attack on February 13th, I talked to someone in the town. They said, if you see that dog loose again, you call. So I had to call twice, 911, and report that dog racing through my yard. That's twice. So her fence isn't working. And these 2 attacks could have been prevented if someone had done something after this first attack and my 2 calls, and I think Eileen called in a call in the meantime because I came up and got the reports of the call-ins about that dog. And chicken wire won't hold a dog in like that. That dog is not being contained. And it's going through my yard. It's going out her backyard and down my yard on Central.
Do you have anybody here supporting on your behalf, any witnesses on your behalf?
No.
Didn't your dog dig a hole under one of your fences also? You said it dug a hole under it?
Well, he ripped the bottom of the fence and dug it that way.
He ripped a chain link fence up.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen it. Yeah.
I go out there every day with him now when he goes to the bathroom. My daughter, at that time, he had ripped the chain link fence, got out. We were able to get back in. I told her, don't let the dogs out because I got to fix the fence. Accidentally, with the change of the weather, the door didn't shut tightly. So the dogs got out, got on the fence while she was in the shower. I was at work. Unfortunately, that incident did happen. I did repair the fence for the time, and then I'm going to stake it down the bottom of it. I've been told that you can stake the bottom of it.
Did you bring any photos of the fencing, of the repaired fence?
No, sir. And I go out there. He has a shock collar now, so anytime he goes near the fence at all, he gets alerted not to go near the
So
fence.
did you put an invisible fence under?
No, I did not.
So how does the shock collar work? Do you have a clicker?
Yeah.
So, but if you're not out there to see the
No,
dog get
I
near the
go out
fence,
with
you,
him every time he goes to the bathroom. He does not go outside without me.
But what about when you're at work, you know, or if another incident happens?
I
when the door
understand,
opens?
I understand how you feel, but. You have anything?
So where's the dog right now?
Locked in my house.
Okay, so it's still at the house, okay.
Does that dog have a collar on when it's
Yes, he has a
attacking?
collar on.
Did it have a collar on?
Yeah.
Yeah, just put a leash on it.
Because this dog runs with a black and white dog that doesn't have a collar on. 2 of them go racing, her dog and a black and white. I don't know if that's her dog also.
I do have a black dog, and there's a black and white one across the street.
Or all Are the other dogs involved in any of the attacks?
No, I don't
Okay.
know of it. but
There
I'm
was a
telling you
second dog the
Recently.
day of my attack, but he took off right away.
Yeah, they're not
He's
really
not
the
our-
subject of this hearing,
Yeah, no.
unfortunately, so we really
Yeah.
can't do anything about those.
No.
Are there any questions from the ACO, from the police about this case? Are you, Officer Schlegel, are you here about this case?
Yes,
Were you at any of the attacks,
I was at the third attack.
the third attack?
Yes.
Can you tell us your side?
My sergeant arrived there first. On my arrival, my sergeant had the dog in question on a leash. I then took the dog from him while he checked on their small dog. The owners, I believe it was daughter and neighbor, came over, took the dog. At that point, I was able to go to their house and check on their small dog, and it was bleeding from the rear leg, from what I could see. They were getting in the vehicle to go to the vet.
Candy, do you have the dollar amount for your vet bills?
I think
Okay.
roughly 500.
500 and change, okay. Candy, do you have any questions?
So, I've got a couple. So, the first dog attack was February 13th, from what I understand. So, at that point, you fixed the fence? I'm just trying to think of what steps you've taken here.
I don't remember how we went out that time.
Okay, all right. And that's the one we don't know if there was any dog, if that bills because we don't know if the person's now moved.
I wasn't actually the ACO
Okay.
then, so I,
Okay,
like the other times they cut out in that same time frame, I don't know about.
okay. So the second attack was October 14th. And you were aware of that, but you understood that it was just a nipped ear.
Yeah, that's,
From-
they said, oh, you had a nipped ear, and that was talking to, I think that was the police officer.
Okay, and that's,
Like, the dog's fine, I had a nipped ear, I would have, again, I would have contacted her right away had I known there was any damage or her
okay.
dog was hurt at all.
And that's when the dog got out by the wind blowing the door open, or
That was which day?
the 14th, the second one?
It was a Tuesday.
No, the door open was the last one.
Okay, all right. So you don't know how the dog got out the second time? Okay. And the third time was when the door was able to blow open, so the dog hooked out. So it was after the third time the fence got fixed?
The fence got damaged that week.
Okay,
And so I said, I told my daughter, like, make sure you're out there with them, because the whole fence, I put some stuff in front of it, but it wasn't able to hold it. I know you could get around it, so make sure you're out there.
Okay.
She went to take a shower, and the door blew open. Since then, we lock the back door anytime we don't use it.
okay. So you knew that your dog had attacked 3 other times, at least, that you were aware of?
I knew two. Those two times, and then I talked to
Well, there was the
every-
one in February, then the 2 in October you knew
the
of,
two that just happened.
in October.
Yeah.
And then
So
the one
that's
in
those
February? There was also an attack, you didn't know about that one?
The one with the guy who moved.
Yes.
Yep,
I was aware of that one, that was just a nip, and that was it. He ran up, nipped, and walked away.
It
And ran
bit the
away.
owner also
That's
You
what it
bit
was.
the owner of the dog.
in the
And I
hand.
talked to the police officer, and they said there was no damage, like, he just kind of was scared.
okay.
I'm pretty sure the dog,
I'm not making excuses. I take it very seriously that my dog attacked other dogs. I don't want you to think that I'm not taking it seriously. Please don't.
So, you knew your dog had attacked a number
I
of
heard a
different
nip.
times? Okay,
Like, so to me, a nip is a whole different than an attack.
okay,
So obviously, like, had I known her dog was attacked,
Yep.
I immediately would have contacted her. As soon as I knew that Gervais's dog was attacked, and I spoke to both ACOs. I said, please forward them my information. They never forward the information to them. And I even asked one of the officers, how was it? And they said, oh, I really don't know.
Okay,
So as soon as they contacted me, I contacted them immediately.
okay. Have you ever taken your dog to the vet to find out if there's anything going on that's making it attack?
My dog was attacked by several dogs trying to acclimate it to other dogs. Bit his head, bit his stomach, bit his ears. Anytime I try to acclimate this dog to other dogs, they just attack him. So I stopped trying to acclimate him to other dogs because of that situation. So he is defensive against other dogs, being attacked by other dogs. Them barking at him, them biting him.
Is he a rescue dog?
Yes. But he was a puppy when I got him. And when I tried to acclimate him as a puppy, the big dogs would just bite him. They did give me a number for a trainer who might be able to help acclimate him to, because he is still young enough to try to correct that. Which I, will contact them and work with them, but
Has information been forwarded for the owners
no,
to?
there's Rubeus's.
No, I only spoke with her one time,
Okay,
and I'm trying to remember how the conversation went, but I can't just give someone else's information, but I
I did ask her to forward my information.
really
though.
don't remember that. How would I have done that for you?
Well, you did call us and ask us if it would be okay, and we said yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I
maybe
guess
I
you
was
forward my
remiss
number.
and I didn't do it. I remember talking to you, you said you were at the airport, when I called.
I might have been at the airport that day, yeah.
So if that did happen, then I was remiss and I didn't follow through with that part.
all the questions I have.
Can I ask just a question? When the veterinarian, you bring your dog into the veterinarian and they know that there was an attack, aren't they not responsible for reporting it to the town afterwards?
The veterinarians?
Yeah, they don't have to do that?
I don't think so.
They do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
100%, and I
And they didn't,
had
yeah.
questioned where the quarantines were for these dogs, and Cassidy hadn't received them. There should have been quarantines on both those dogs.
They were.
On the dogs that
My
were,
dogs were.
The dogs that were attacked, and then, yeah, but it was
Okay.
later.
What
It
what
wasn't
exactly
from
is
the
a
vet.
quarantine? What does that consist of?
Usually it's 10 days in-house quarantine, dog.
In their
dog
own
can be-
home?
Or it can be walked, it has to be under their control at all times,
Okay.
basically. And like I said, I asked Cassidy and she said she hadn't received the quarantine. And she didn't receive a quarantine, she should,
I was verbally told on that one to make sure I did a 10-day quarantine, so I definitely did 10-day quarantine on both those.
Right, this isn't about you,
Oh,
this is
okay.
about the fact that vets are not,
I
these
just-
quarantines.
yeah.
which vet did you bring it to?
We went to Deerfield that evening, and then we went to Canterbury Tales the next day.
It's a state law, they have to report it.
Okay. Anybody have any other?
I just, excuse me,
No, go ahead.
I just am concerned. I'm sure the dog is so loving with her family. I approach the fence, I have my wood pile right next to the fence, and if I was on that side of the fence, I would have been tore up. The dog is very aggressive through the fence.
Okay.
When the fence isn't there, the dog doesn't seem to have an issue. But when the
Like
when
people, yeah.
when you're on the other side of a fence, it is wanting to attack. And I kind of make jokes about it, but we have to kind of clear our yard before we walk our dog. Just because we know that dog, if ever got a hold of our dog, there'd be nothing left. All the times that the dog gets out, there isn't an issue. Maybe no one's walking their dog, but it's not isolated to the 3 incidents. The dog has gotten out, I can't count how many times. It's
A lot.
a lot. It's not a handful, I can tell you that. So we like mine's our friend, but that dog is not well.
Okay. Candy?
I just want to, I'm worried that there was so much lack of communication with everybody through this whole thing. Do other towns have systems in place?
I can't speak
You
to
know,
other,
I know,
I
but
can't speak to other
shouldn't there
towns,
be?
I can
I
only,
think there
I can
should
only
be.
speak to our town and we're doing.
Maybe it's something it could be looked into, like,
We could, but that's not really within the scope of this particular hearing. If you want to bring it up towards the select board, we'd be happy to talk to you. But the scope of this hearing is these 3 attacks.
okay.
All right. So the next step in our hearing is I will accept a motion to close the hearing so that we can deliberate.
The other thing I just want to add is that dog's not outside without me. Again, I used to let him freely be in the backyard. He's not allowed to be out there without that. I, again, have talked to Gervaises. They've recommended a trainer to work with them acclimating each other dogs. You know, the fence line is a property line. I apologize about that, Dan. His dog barks left and right at my dogs. It's a back in the neighbor, like they bark between the neighborhood. It's not just our dogs. It's all the dogs in the neighborhood
Okay.
like that. But I mean, the only thing I can do is promise you that I'm out there every time they're out there. Every time they're going to the bathroom, somebody is in the yard with them.
I'd just like to say that we've been affected to where we have 2 dogs, and the other one is a golden retriever, 80 pounds, so he can run away real fast. He's not breathing at all. But Cece's only like 15 pounds. We don't leave the house without pepper spray now.
Have you ever had to
We're
spray the
afraid to
dog?
walk in our own neighborhood, so
Okay,
we're all armed with pepper spray when we go outside.
I understand.
We walk our dogs twice a day, and, you know, I'm petrified now since that happened. I had somebody, I don't know, it was like, I don't remember if it was the spring or the winter, someone on Central Street when I was walking my dog, and one of them, and she warned me about a pit bull attack. I don't know if it was my dog, but she thought it was on Mechanic Street, and she was just warning me, saying, be careful, because I just saw this attack, you know, the other day, and it was horrible. So I was like, for a long time, I wouldn't go down that street. I was so afraid, you know, especially with my little dog. But, you know, then I kind of forgot about it, and then this happened.
No,
I'm scared to death now.
I understand, and these hearings tend to be really emotional.
If
They're
I
not
were
easy.
walking my dog, that dog would be dead.
Pepper spray will not work.
Okay.
That dog is so fast. I
No,
work
I-
back in that garden, and if that dog comes after me, I'm gone, because I can't get the pepper spray.
Understood.
Any other, before we close the hearing?
No?
Okay, I'll make a motion to close the hearing at 6:48.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So the board is now going to deliberate. Any findings should be made in the form of a motion and voted on. So we're to deliberate about the specific facts of the case. Since this is really concerning 3 cases, do you think we should handle them as 3 separate votes, or do you think we should handle it as 1 vote?
I think it's one, it's the same
Okay.
kind of circumstances. I think it's just
Okay.
different dogs, different dates, different extent, but almost the same circumstances.
So I will accept the motion that it is a matter of fact that on date, wait a 3 dates. October,
I'm going on
February, right?
13th, October 14th, make sure I'm getting them right. Let's see, the other one, October 28th, where is it?
Probably October 23rd.
November 23rd.
No, October 23rd,
Okay.
2025. Make sure I get the name of the dog.
No, it's October 14th, right?
Yeah, I said the 3.
Okay.
February 13th, October 14th, and October 23rd.
Just 9 days later. Okay.
Yeah, those 3 dates.
The dog's name
I think it's
is
Deuce, I think. Is it Deuce?
Goose.
Goose,
Yep. Yep.
who is a pit bull. And how old is the pit bull?
18 months.
18 months. Owned by Mike Grover. I think we can take that in one motion, the three of those facts.
Yep. So on those dates, that dog named Goose, the pit bull breed, 18 months old, and it's owned by Mike Rover.
Attacked
Attacked
three other dogs
3 other dogs of 3 different owners.
by 3 different owners. Yeah. So I think, all right,
Do we want to keep going with the other 2 pieces here?
yeah, we may as well.
Leading to the following consequences of at least 2 of the owners on the October 14th and October 23rd required veterinary care of their dogs that we are aware of. They need medical attention. There were financial costs involved.
And the owners are, it's quite evident the owners in the neighborhood are afraid for their safety when walking their pets or even being in their yard.
We've heard information from both the animal control officer and the police department.
So I will second the motion that those are the specific facts of the case. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So now we have to come up with a determination of status. With respect to determination of status, we're directed to either determine whether this is a nuisance dog or whether this is a dangerous dog. And there are certain things we can do with respect to either of those findings.
Let's first discuss the definition of a nuisance. Do you want me to read that
Sure.
part of it? So the definition of a nuisance dog is the dog by excessive barking or other disturbance, a source of annoyance to a sick person residing in the vicinity, or by excessive barking causing damage or other interference, a reasonable person would find such behavior disruptive to one's quiet and peaceful enjoyment, or has the dog threatened or attacked livestock, a domestic animal, or a person, but such threat or attack was not grossly disproportional reaction under all circumstances.
Unfortunately, we don't have a formal definition of a dangerous dog. Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Right here. So a dangerous dog is described as after credible evidence if the hearing authority deems the dog to be without justification attacks a person or domestic animal causing physical injury or death, or behaves in a manner that a reasonable person would believe possesses or poses an unjustified imminent threat of physical injury or death to a person or to a domestic or owned animal. Personally, I feel this is a dangerous dog.
I agree.
So would you like to make a motion as that is a finding?
That's what, I'll make a motion to enter a finding that we consider that I consider the dog dangerous.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. With the dog being determined to be dangerous, we now have to figure out what we can do. Some of the possible steps is that we can order the dog be humanely restrained, the dog be confined to the premises of the keeper of the dog. When removed from the premises of the owner or the premises of the person keeping the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled. We can also find the owner of the or keeper of the dog provide proof of insurance. Or we can order the dog to be humanely euthanized. So, Cammy, what do you think?
My concern is the restraint at this point up to now does not have seemed to have worked. I know lately that you're trying to make sure the dog is now on a leash and someone's out there with it. I'm concerned that that's not going to continue. It hasn't up till now over the last 8 months. That concerns me. I would hate to bypass this and just leave it as is, only to have another attack that could be more severe or involve a person. And that is my concern.
I tend to have a very low threshold for attacking dogs. I think once a dog attacks, it tends to get a taste for it, so to speak. And if this was only one attack, I would probably feel differently. But given that the dog is 3 attacks that are in front of us and some attacks on persons who have been bit, and there are some other attacks that we may not be aware of. I regretfully say that I would be in favor of humanely euthanizing this dog.
I would agree.
I will accept the motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion to recommend that dog be euthanized.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, that's the Board of Selectmen's order.
Do we need to?
Yeah. However, you have the right within 10 days of the Selectmen's order to bring a petition to the district court within the judicial district of which the dog is kept, which is what, what's our district?
Western.
Western District Court, or magistrate thereof, and after such notice to the officer or officers involved as the magistrate deems necessary, the magistrate shall review such action, hear the witnesses, and affirm such order, unless it shall appear that it was made without proper cause or in bad faith, in which case such order shall be reversed. You or any party shall have the right to request a de novo hearing on the petition before a justice of the court. The decision of the court shall be final and conclusive upon the parties.
I have a copy of that, please.
Absolutely.
You're dismissed.
Here, you know what? You should have this as well regarding the appeal process.
Can I just take dismiss, please?
I'm sorry?
Let me do it.
That concludes. Yeah, okay.
What was your actual finding? I couldn't.
It's a dangerous dog, and we found the dog to be euthanized. Should be euthanized.
What is the outcome then? She can ask that,
She's able to appeal that ruling.
and then what? If it's a dangerous dog, is it removed from West Brookfield, or?
Can't do that.
We don't know.
You can't.
We can't remove it from the
No,
town.
can't.
No.
Well, the other selectmen did when I got bit. They said if that dog isn't removed, he will be removed, and they had removed him.
We're not allowed to remove a dog from the town.
Great, so our dogs are in danger now.
No, your dogs aren't in danger. We ordered the dog be humanely euthanized. She's allowed to appeal the ruling. She has 10 days to do so. If she doesn't appeal it, then she'll have to do what the Board of Selectmen ordered. I don't know how long it takes the court to look at and appeal these things, but we have to follow due process. I'm sorry.
And she's gonna have to do what? What is she gonna have to do?
Go to the court system in Worcester and ask for an appeal, but
And then
I can
what?
tell you she's not getting it.
And then what?
Well, she'll be heard. I'm sure she'll be heard.
But
But we don't know how long that will
It could
take.
take months,
That-
a long time.
I mean, I have 2 small dogs.
I'm sorry that.
And I walk on the common, and I thought I was safe with my mace, and now this young lady says, oh, no, you're not. That dog's gonna tear you apart.
That dog is so fast.
No, I understand that. But the town, we
thank you
have,
for taking it serious.
we are, we
We're
have,
really concerned for that. That dog is.
no, I understand that. And
It's scary.
Yeah.
Am I able to get her name, address, phone number at all? I mean, I've never contacted her. I'd like to talk to her.
You can give it to her.
Well, I
I
don't,
found
I
it on
don't,
Facebook.
He has
yeah,
it.
I don't know if that's appropriate, to be honest with you.
What, me talking to her, or you giving me the information?
Us giving you the information. But, I mean, we have to follow rules as well. As much as I'd like to say to her, go to the vet tomorrow, we can't.
Regarding these quarantines, for someone with a dangerous dog that gets loose, to have them quarantine that dog for 10 days, we're not guaranteed that that dog's being quarantined. Why aren't they being taken to the dog pound and quarantined with a responsible person instead of being kept with the attacking dog's owner?
That's not how it's done. Throughout the state, that's not how it's done. However, had the dog been properly quarantined when it got loose the second time, that's a criminal offense on her part.
But how do you prove it?
But because it wasn't quarantined,
Oh, was it within the 10 days, these two
Yes.
attacks?
yeah.
You know, it's 9 days later. All right, so we need,
This is no good.
all right, I want to thank everybody for attending the hearing. Like I said, they're very emotional hearings.
Thank you.
We're going to move on.
That's her name.
You can get Facebook, Messenger, or something.
We have our number, just give her our number.
All right, the next item on our agenda is Architectural Insights. Evelyn's?
Travelers, yeah.
Travelers?
I don't know if he's in the hallway.
Yeah, he is, that's right.
Oh.
Oh, no, I was fine back there.
Why do I sit the one I take?
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
It's scary.
I know him.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
Sure, try to get it.
All right.
We'll just do the PSA here.
All right. So moving on. After everybody gets settled. I need a bigger room.
We used to have one downstairs.
We did.
They move along, or
Well,
like herding cats out
it
there?
is kind of, well, there, yeah. Beth, could you do me a favor and ask them to step away from the
Yeah,
door?
if they go down the hall.
They're not so loud. Thank you.
I'll distribute these in the meantime.
Thank you.
Were these all the invoices? I mean, the proposals, they've got them in their packets.
Yeah, but I've included there with a summary too.
All right.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So the next item on the agenda is Architectural Insights, Bob Haverty's Town Hall Structural Repairs and Roof Recommendations.
Great, thank you. So I'm Bob Havlis, Principal of Architectural Insights, and initially started on the project as evaluating your exterior walls to prepare for your painting down the road.
Beth, could you go yell at them again, please?
No.
Guys, sorry.
You can't close it.
Can't close it.
Oh,
She
meeting
knows.
law, right?
All right.
I know, you can't close it.
Now they got it. Okay, now go back.
That's right, all right.
So then when we were working with the general contractor, we were up on the lift, just taking a look at some of the areas that we knew were the more severe areas to look at, to really dive in and see what the cause and effects are of the structure. And that's when we noticed that particularly the two long east and west walls, the long walls, two things. So one is that there was water damage that we could see from the roof that affected the eaves. And then when we did a little closer study of that, we realized that the rot actually started taking and eroding the bottom parts of your rafters and the beams that it's sitting on. It is a serious item. We can't just let it go. So what we put our heads together between the general contractor and myself and our structural engineer. So the structural engineer had already provided a repair sketch of which Dan La Rochelle had put together some numbers on. And with your package here, I know you received the 4 different proposals from him for the projected estimates, but what I wanted to give you here was more of a summary of the situation and then what might be our recommendation as a way to proceed. So a couple things, just going through this memo relatively quickly. So we have roof framing structural repairs. We have slate removal and reinstallation for the structural repairs. We have a full replacement option with asphalt shingles, including the cupola apron. Not repairing of the cupola itself, that needs work also. New sheathing for entire roof area if required. So those are the 4 options. The existing roof conditions exist. The individual boards are that's the base sheathing that was there as original. On top of that are wood shingles, which we presume were actually the original roof to the structure. And on top of that is slate shingles. So you have multiple layers there. The existing roofing concerns are slate is loose and not properly fastened to the structure or to the sheathing. Nails to secure the slate are short and only penetrate the roof shingle, not into the sheathing. So it's only as good as the roof or the wood shingles are. And the shingles aren't really, it's not the same integrity as a plywood or a piece of lumber, right? They just don't have that same integrity. Evidence of leaks over the years, particularly at the eaves, which has caused structural member for rot, sag, and distortion of the east and west eave lines. What I mean by distortion is because the roof has sagged in those areas, it actually has put additional loads on the wall, and there's kind of a wave in your eave line. So we would try to correct that. Protection of areas directly below is necessary to avoid people being too close to the building. Slate have fallen off and left unattended holes, which water has penetrated. Holes have been now since temporarily packed since we observed them, and we did an emergency repair on those. It's only a temporary repair, it's not the full repair. Roof structure requires immediate work to prevent further deterioration. We adding eccentric loading to the sidewalls and roof structure due to the deteriorated members. Snow guards are rusted and are not sure of how they are actually anchored to the roof. They need to be replaced. Gutters to be replaced, change from 5-inch to a 6-inch gutter and larger downspouts. If the remainder is left unattended, you have a possibly 5 years roof life with unknown structural consequences and slate coming loose and becoming falling debris. So on the second page is the recommended approach. Just going back to those costs, however, first, if you were to, so under the second one here where it says slate removal and reinstallation of structural repairs, that was $130,500. That is only for 8 feet up and for the length of the sidewalls on both sides of the building. The reason we were looking to do that is because we feel at this point this is the time to be looking at all those members on both sides of the building. So we have to see if there's other members that are affected. We don't expect that they're as severely deteriorated as much, but this is the time to take a look at that. That's if, so and again, that number is if you were to remove the slate and then reinstall them. Our recommendation is not that. So the first item on recommended approach is to remove the first 8 feet of slate and wood shingles for the length of the east and the west walls. That would be from front to rear. This provides us the opportunity to review the existing structure and to see if there are other potential trouble areas that we need to correct from a structural standpoint. Execute the obvious structural repairs on both sides of the building, about 13 feet. Those are the ones that he has a number on of $57,500. The third point is it advisable to replace the entire existing roof with an architectural style slate roof asphalt shingles that may have the look of slate or of wood shingles as originally constructed. This would require approval of the Historical Commission and likely the Massachusetts Historical Commission. Additionally, this would want to follow the National Park Service for the preservation briefs for historic structures for roof replacements. By doing the asphalt shingle replacement, it would save costs of reinstalling the slate that we were taking off. That and if they were to put them back, they have to actually take them, all of it's by a bucket. They have to take them all off carefully, stack them, palletize them, and then reinstall them. Probably about 30 or 40% of those are going to be broken by the time they're actually taking them off or whatever, so you're going to have to replace with new slate as a possibility. Because the existing sheathing is constructed with individual boards which have excessive gaps between them, that is not acceptable for installing asphalt shingles and could void warranty. Therefore, it'd be advisable to plan on installing new plywood sheathing over the existing roof sheathing. This would provide a more reliable service for installing ice and water shield as well as nailing base for the asphalt shingles. Fourth point is additional funds should be allocated for potential miscellaneous or other repairs that we are discovering when we're investigating the existing structure that it will not be known until we open that up. So below are the summary of the costs of this recommendation. So we already know we have 13 feet on each side of the building that we have to fix structurally. Those are your main severe areas. That's $57,000. Actually, I think I should have probably put 500 there. I think I missed the 500.
Yep, that's okay.
Removal of existing slate and replace with an entire asphalt shingle roof. That's $81,000. Plywood entire roof for new asphalt shingles, $24,300. Allowance for unknown repairs, say, and again, that's kind of a shot in the dark, allow $10,000 each side, so a total of $20,000. Construction total of $182,300. And then architectural and structural engineering fees, we're estimating about $20,000. Part of it is we don't know exactly what we're going to get into, so we're putting a number to that. So a grand total of $202,300. If you were to replace, as my little footnote of asterisk at the bottom, well, actually there's two. One is asphalt shingles may vary depending on the selection that you finally end up with, and the slate will actually cost a lot more should you decide to stay with slate.
So you said there's wooden shingles underneath the slate.
Right.
And you think that's the original roof?
We do. And when you look at, the
Historical Commission shouldn't have a problem with taking the slate off because that's not original. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing you totally. But yeah, so we don't know when the slate actually got there, and we don't know what historical photographs might be available to say, when did that happen, when that actually occur. We don't know. Would have to get approval from the local historical commission, but I also think we have to go to the state. Now, there is also a document that for any renovations you make to the building, there's a covenant, I guess it is, with the state that you have to do certain things to make sure you're staying within that covenant. So we'd have to go visit that, make sure that we're in compliance.
Would you do that, or would we, the board, or would be expected to do it?
Between Teresa and us, we can figure that one out. Okay. The other thing that did come up was, when we make inquiries with the historical commission, they don't do anything by email or verbal. It's all going to be in writing, so it would be a memo that we would have to present to them saying this is the situation. Okay. The other is from a public bidding standpoint that we would be treating this as an emergency, and because it is. Those are not safe conditions on either side. We need to correct them. What we weren't quite sure of is under the public procurement laws, whether we can continue with Dan La Rochelle, who was the contractor who came on board to do the siding. Part of his work was to actually address and look at the eaves and those things, but then the scope expanded.
Right.
So what we have to make sure is that we're not in violation with that, and do we have to put that out to bid?
Yeah.
We would argue certainly that this is, critical enough that we think it is in the best interest of the community and safety that we continue with it.
Is this building unsafe to be occupied?
No.
Okay.
What kind of time frame are we looking at to the local historical commission and then the state?
Yeah, I would have to make inquiries. The local one, we can probably ask them
Yeah.
to find out, but
Right.
As far as the state, we'd have to send correspondence to figure out to what involvement they would
As far as the DCAM, once that's all put together, it's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
them
say, a
to
phone
make
call to them and a
determination.
determination.
Well, now you gotta put it in writing.
Yeah.
Attach all the reports and all of that
Yeah.
good stuff, but they'll get back pretty quickly.
I'm more worried about the state historical, if we need their approval before we can move forward. I'm thinking it's already the middle of November, winter's coming, folks.
Yeah, so I believe this is, I believe this is on the state register. I don't think it's on the federal register, on the federal National Park Service. We'll double check that, but we're just gonna need to cover those bases. Before you go too far down the road and make some decisions and find out that it needs those decisions.
So my other question is, by putting, well, we're taking the slate, if we were to take the slate off and then put all plywood on there,
Yeah,
can it withstand the weight of all that again now?
actually, you're probably lighting.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, if you're
Yeah,
taking the
because
slate
you've
out,
actually
put
got, you
plywood
got wood
and architectural
plus
shingles.
plus the slate currently.
Yeah,
So if we're taking off the wood and the slate and we're putting back
so we'd
some
be stripping the
plywood
slate
and
off
stuff.
plus the wood shingles.
Yes. Oh yeah, we're bringing it right down to the main.
But the
wood sheathing.
regular wood planking that's up there would stay? Or we
Yes.
would take that off as
No,
well?
no.
Okay,
We would
that's
leave that sheathing and
stabilizing
just
it.
put plywood over the top of it.
Okay.
What would the expected life of the, of architectural?
So the
shingle
architectural
be?
shingles, they can be a 25, 30. I think they might even have a 45 year or something of that nature.
Depends what you want to pay for.
Exactly. Pay your money, take your
I
choice.
don't want to pay for slate, but I
Well,
also
no.
don't want a new roof in 15 years
No,
either.
but you can get a roof that's 25 years, which is a little bit cheaper, but the 40 years is more expensive.
What year was the building built?
I think mid 1800s.
So figure if the wood shingles might have lasted 20 years, then maybe the slate is 100 and,
Yeah, well, slate is, they do
100-something
say
years
they
old.
would last, good 100 years.
yeah, so I don't know.
But the problem is, I think we've got some deferred maintenance up there, that's why we're seeing so much
Exactly.
damage in the attic.
Right.
So, and unfortunately, we're paying the price for the deferred maintenance now. Next question, how would we fund it?
Well, we're looking at that, so we had discussed potentially whether we borrow or use any funds in capital stabilization. Regardless, any route that we go, we need special town meeting approval.
Yeah.
And, initially we were thinking mid-December, but we are setting the tax rate and we don't want to upset that apple cart. So I would predict, sometime in January.
Why would it do anything with the tax rate?
Because it's affecting, because your tax rate and all of that is based on your fiscal 26.
Yep.
And now you would be affecting your fiscal 26 numbers. And so everything that's been reported to set your tax rate would be changed, and you're up against a pretty strict time frame. So it
Well,
was,
work on this building wouldn't affect the
Right.
tax rate, would it?
if it's going to, it will affect all the data that's been entered into Gateway. All the reporting, it will affect the reporting, and that will basically put a halt. And it's a lot of work to get everything in order, and you need to send those tax bills out.
Yeah.
So it's best to let the rate get set and then go from there, and you'll get your tax bills out.
So whether town meeting appropriated money out of a fund that we already have money set aside for.
Yeah, it was discussed earlier today.
Okay, or even if we borrow, but the debt isn't due this fiscal year, it would still affect the tax rate that we're setting now? Okay. For the 26 bills.
I would also, although it's not noted here, I did make brief mention that the cupola also needs work. Some of the columns actually fell off. They're not structural, they're more ornamental.
Yeah.
But we know those fell off. There needs to be wood trim work done on it. You might want to, you got the bucket up there, you know, while you're doing the roof, it would really be the right time to also.
Does the cupola have to come off? No.
No.
It's not that kind of a cupola,
No.
right?
Right.
It's more than just an ornamental.
It's a big thing with
product.
the bell in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah, it is a bell tower,
Yeah.
but there are 4 structural posts that are inside it. That's your main structure. That they seem to be fine. It's a lot of it is the other cosmetic wood trim.
The trim on the outside, I noticed one piece looked like it
And
was.
then as far as we know, again, we didn't really inspect the roof to that member, but I think that is probably slate on there also. But we didn't check that out.
Slate, I thought it was
You
metal.
It might be metal. Maybe it's metal. I don't recall. But
From my last glance, I remember it being metal.
probably right. You probably look at it more than I
don't want to
have.
say copper, but I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's some kind of metal up there.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
We can get Rich with his drone to go take a look for us.
So I guess, you know, part of the concern here is you might want to, in the meantime, I mean, not knowing where snow comes or whatever, you might want to, particularly in the middle section of this wall, is maybe just put some snow fence or something around right next to the building, maybe 8 feet out, 10 feet out, just protection that nobody happens to walk under there. On the other side, it's a little more difficult, so just, you know, the fire department's gotta be aware
Yeah.
that, again, it's not an imminent failure, but it's, needs to be addressed and sooner the better.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, that out this side, the 8 or 10 feet is almost the.
Is the middle of the road.
Well,
No, you've got grass over
I
there.
gotta say,
so
you've got a.
I'm not good at measurements.
Yeah.
Would the highway do that?
Yeah.
That's something.
I would think highway would do it.
Some kind of snow fence
Yeah.
going up, but I'm thinking it's just about where the sidewalk is. It's
It
almost
is pretty
80
much, yeah.
on this side.
Yeah.
So where the sidewalk is. So if they stayed on the sidewalk,
Right.
that would take care. It's this side that's more concerning.
And we have found slate in the shrubs, so we know the slate
Oh.
is coming off.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, are we, okay.
No, I was just gonna say, if there's anything Teresa needs, we'll get together and figure out how to contact the state, and then, if you're trying to figure out the numbers, you know, from that standpoint, if we need to add something, let us know, we'll talk about that.
Well, I'd be curious how much to fix the cupola while you're out there.
I'm just gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, well, again, it's gonna be a little bit of a shot there, but at least we get some numbers thrown together, so. And I can get back to Dan on that, we can see, we
Yeah.
can talk to his foreman.
I think it should be under consideration after we're going through all this.
Oh,
We should at least have a
absolutely.
number
Let's
to
not-
be considered and,
Let's do it right.
yep,
Yeah.
take care of it while we've got the equipment and people up there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Be back. Take care.
Teresa, if Jillian could take a look at what possible, besides the capital piece, what borrowing options we
yeah.
would have?
Yep.
Length of term?
Yep.
What that money would be?
Yeah,
as
now
we're
that we
coming into
have a
budget
dollar
season?
amount, we did she'd met with Unibank
Yeah.
last week, and this was one of the projects
Okay.
discussed. They were just waiting for some
Sure,
estimates,
yeah.
so now that we have those numbers, she can follow up with them.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay.
All right, next item on our agenda is continued discussion about the tree lighting on Town Common. Who wants to go first?
The last time we left off, we were waiting for, the reason why we came back was to hear back from the common committee about if we were able to actually decorate the smaller tree, I think.
Oh, that's right. Did you look into that, Diane? And
I didn't.
there was concern about, well, are we able to decorate the smaller tree without damaging it?
It's really too young.
Okay.
So yeah, at this point, we just don't think that pumping money into the tree is super doable, and we don't have the means to get up there and check the connections and do all of the things things that need to be done to make it look good. Because right now, it just really, I don't want to plug in that tree and have it look terrible. So yeah, we don't really have anywhere to go. I don't really know what to do.
Well, you know, unfortunately, you brought us an estimate of $7,000 to redo the tree or do the lights. The town just does not have it. So, from my perspective, we either light the tree or we don't light the tree. And I know that it would be very disappointing to not have a tree lit on the common, but that may be what we're forced to do.
This is just, that's the tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's the back.
Okay,
And then that's the front.
that's the way it lights right now.
Right now, yeah.
So all
So
of
that's the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the ones that go up and down are like 2019, I think we established, and those are the ones that appear to be out the most.
Mhm.
So it is the ones that we bought in 2021 are on top of those, and some of those light up. But yeah, and then last time they had discussed Bonin volunteering his time, and but I just don't know if that's even worth buying new lights, because he wants new lights to be able to fix once he gets up there, and
Right.
I don't want to pump any more money into this.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we don't have any choice for right now. It's a little bit late in the season.
Yep.
Jim
And,
Rust has been volunteering all these years to keep running that and
exactly.
doing it. And,
Yeah, things just changed.
yeah.
We're thinking about doing the candle thing, right?
So then-
Candle vigil type thing. Is it-
Knowing that this was all up in the air, we kind of were thinking of like what are ways that we can pivot. So first we contacted Arsenal and Sons and said, do you have any like structural things that we could potentially put up that looks like a Christmas tree, like the lights that we had previously talked about? And he's like, honestly, there is just not enough time. I don't have enough time to do anything this year. So he is going to meet with us after the holiday season and see what that even looks like, so that it's not something that we're potentially going to outgrow. Like it doesn't, it's not breathing and living and whatever. So, but then we thought about maybe doing like a candlelight vigil, like with the people that do the caroling under the Christmas tree. Have them instead maybe talk to the bandstand committee and see if we can have them in there, and maybe just hand out candles to light and just sing carols for a little bit before heading into do the concert upstairs. We've taken the tree lighting off of all of our printing in preparation for this and just called it closing ceremonies, whatever that might look like. But yeah, that's.
I like the idea of the candlelight vigil. I think it's a good idea.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the only thing that we had mentioned, I think Paul was here last meeting or the meeting before from cable TV, that if you wanted to put something on the channel about donations going forward for any kind of lighting piece of it, that might be helpful. It's a little late now, even if you got the donations tomorrow, to get a contractor to do that. It's
Exactly. Yep. Just running out of time and money, so.
I would be kind of weary that I start collecting donations now, just because we don't know what's going to happen next year. You know,
Exactly.
like
No, but that's what I'm saying, even if you
Yeah.
put it out there now for next, even for this year, it's a little late.
Right.
Well, I don't think it's ever too early to really start collecting donations, though. I mean,
A determination
the
needs
town's
to be
gonna be
met.
here next year, so,
I know, but we might not
Facts.
be able to light the tree next year.
no, but we'd have the funds to do something through the donations that we don't have right now.
Why wouldn't we be able to light the tree next year? If it doesn't pass at the town meeting, like where are we gonna get that $7,000?
Privately funded.
Will that be used to collect donations for that? Oh, you think we could?
We're not gonna collect
That's
$7,000.
$4 per household.
My other meeting just worked it out.
Sorry, like $4
$4 a house.
for every household.
Are you gonna go door to door to collect it? Yeah, perfect. I love that for you.
No, but I don't think you should delay collecting funds just because it would be for next year's tree. It'd actually be a great argument for it, saying, the town's in a
Was able to
financial
raise so much
situation
and we
where
need so much.
we need help with the tree lighting for next year, and please donate. You can have
Are we able to do that with the type of gift fund that we have here with the town?
The town can accept donations,
Okay.
which are tax deductible, by the way. And designated, it would come through the town accountant's office and it would be designated for that purpose,
Okay.
if that's how the funds are given to us. And then it stays in that account for that
Yeah.
purpose.
Well, no, it'd go towards White Christmas. They'd have to set up something. If they wanted for, specifically for tree lighting, they'd have to,
Right,
they'd have to
that's
set
what
up a
I'm
new account.
No, but, like, you can accept a donation that is for the tree lighting. And people can give money, because that's what they're saying they're contributing it for, is for the tree lighting on the common. And then an account would be opened up as a tree lighting in the common. Because if they give it to one purpose and then it's used for another purpose, that's when we run into problems.
Right.
And the money stays there for tree lighting.
I guess the only other thing that I would be interested in is could we or could somebody maybe write a very professional letter and us and the common committee and the board of selectmen kind of all sign off on it, like, and that we, gathered, went through all the necessary hoops and talked about our options, and just so that it's maybe a little better well received from the community.
Right. So it doesn't seem like we made a hasty decision, like we've been working on this.
Yeah, Beth, could you draft something and
Yep.
we could do that.
I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yep.
The visual memory of Christmas.
Sounds like a sad
I know.
Memory of the tree.
It might be a lynching though, honestly.
Too soon.
Things change. Things change. We do what we can do.
Right?
Can I ask a question? Has the common committee talked to Jimmy Rust at all?
Talk to who?
Jimmy Rust?
No, I thought the White Christmas Committee said that he couldn't do it.
Yeah. I just wondered if anyone else from the town had reached out to him.
He's like year 3, kind of. Like last year, he said the year before, this was his.
You think he's like
yeah,
definitely
so
in,
I
for
would
sure.
feel uncomfortable badgering him because he's kind of tried for a few years to have that be his final year, and he keeps coming back out of the goodness of his heart.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's been very good to the town,
Yes, very
volunteering
good.
all these years.
Very good.
Yeah.
I did have another thought pop in my head that I forgot to tell everyone else about, so sorry.
No, you're fine.
But I was also thinking, you know how people do like make wishes and they like put it on a tree, like little
Yeah.
paper wishes? We could do light bulbs, paper light bulbs. People can hang on the tree with write their wish.
Oh, on a big tree or on a
Yeah,
little tree?
like they can just hang it like on the bottom.
Yeah, we'll talk
I just thought, it's a way to keep the community part of it.
Right.
Okay, anything else about the tree? About the White Christmas? All right. Thank you all for coming back in and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is the town administrator report.
I don't know what to tell you, honestly. So I did go to the award ceremony for the grant that was awarded for the master planning. So a lot of towns were there. It gave me a great opportunity to circle with Janet Pierce to CMRPC. Staff has reached out. There's a process because it's a different type of source for the funding, so had to do a Zoom class on how this is going to go. So I would expect in the next week or so to be able to have the preliminary contract over, and then shortly after that the state will get back with an actual contract for us to sign, and then we can engage with CMRPC, planning board, that type of thing, get that rolling. So that was pretty exciting.
What does the grant pay for?
This is for the updating of the master plan, and so the update, it's not rewriting the whole master plan, it is updating it by further inclusion of economic development. So it'll be, because the current one, certainly mentions economic development and corridor and all of that, so we want to expand on that further. And in addition to that, there's a Zoom meeting taking place to talk about transportation in rural communities and that type of thing, and that might really, the timing's just coming up really nicely for that, so be attending that actually I think it's this Thursday. Wow. So that is that. Green communities, we've done everything on our end to close that out. There's one last item, and that is the final inspection. So DOER will come out, and Mark Estrella will be bringing them around as well. So they'll just check everything, check the boxes, and we're done with that. And as you know, I've been working on the stuff with Havlis and Dan over at La Rochelle, and we'll get that together. I've started the draft warrant, so I'm starting to compile the warrant articles. Had a meeting, we had a Zoom meeting with the water commissioners, invited me, and Jillian sat in on it as well, with the engineering firm to discuss the time frame for going out to bid and all of that. SRF, it looks as though it's looking like they may be the best avenue to go. They've got a low interest rate, so if we were to do a 20-year, you'd be looking at a 2% interest rate. That's a pretty good rate. And then loan forgiveness in the amount of about 800, maybe up to 850,000, whereas USDA was close to $1 million in a grant, but the interest rate was 3%.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go for a 30-year with SRS, then you're looking at 2.2%. So it's still a really good rate. We also talked about, Tetta Howard had explained that there may be another avenue for additional funding through that program. So they sent the application over, and the water department will be putting that together and submitting that. We'll see how that comes back. We should include on the special town meeting an article for the water commissioners for the soft costs associated with this project, because that is not included in grant or loan funding for the project. So the soft cost is legal. And so we do have an estimate from Heather White for that, so we'll just use that for the special. And then the bids can go out. It's a requirement to get those bids out and enter into contract before June 30th. So those bids would go out, and as long as they come back under the amount that was authorized at town meeting, if they come under that, then great. If not, then we would have to go back for additional funding perhaps. So we'll see how that all plays out. Yep.
Would the bidding piece be anything? So what I've done with bids in the past is try to have a certain amount of work that we expect to be done, but then some of it be add alternates. So that if we have the funding, we can do that extra part, and we can do that. And I don't know if it could be. I don't know about that particular project.
Yeah.
If it could be structured that way in the bid, so that way, if there's basic work that needs to be done, and then there's some additional pieces that. Just a thought.
Yeah. It's worth asking the question.
And at what point does the, I don't know if the water commissioners or how that's gonna get determined once we land on a funding of, it's gonna be borne by, who, like, how are we paying for it? Taxpayers versus users and.
At this point, it's users.
Yep.
I did ask about the metrics. If SRF uses the same metrics that USDA does, then there's always that possibility. So Tata Howard provided contacts over at SRF to best ask those questions.
Okay.
And I know that Phil has, I believe, either he has or he is reaching out, so I can circle back to make sure that that's included as well. But yeah, that would be something that we would really want to determine as soon as possible.
Right.
Because that could really slow this project down.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Is that the end of your TA report?
yeah, I think so.
Any other business? Comments, concerns? I would accept a motion to, our next regular meeting is, or the next Board of Selectmen meeting is a joint meeting with the advisory board on November 12th. That's this coming Wednesday at 6 p.m. at the senior center. And then the next Board of Selectmen regular meeting is Tuesday, November 25th at 6 p.m. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.